the school I was going to, I went just about one semester, and second semester was coming up, and there were some subjects I was not too familiar with, especially English.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand verbs and nouns and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
it does.
I thought I started going to we were going to, my wife and I were going to Calvary Temple.
Okay.
And they had a continuous revival meeting every night of the year. A different minister most of them was every 2 weeks. And so, and they all had a sign gift ministry with miracles taking place, and it's just awesome. And so we went there whenever we could. And I was also working at Lockheed Aircraft because I had to have some income. And so at that church I found a prayer room upstairs, way up, and to me it was too big. Coming down, there was a door, and I opened up that door, and there was a prayer room in there. Well, it was just a room, about 4 feet wide, 6 feet deep, and a chair. And I thought, this would be my prayer room. So instead of going to school five hours a day, I went there 5 hours a day and had my Bible laying there, and I tried to read the Old Testament. I just couldn't understand it. And so I stuck with the New Testament. Read a little bit. God, fill me with your love. Fill me with your love. Now, first of all, I'm sorry. I'd say, fill me with the gifts of the Spirit. I figured if the gifts of the Spirit operating through all these other people, that'd help me. Because if I'm going to go in ministry, I figured that would compensate for my ability not to talk.
Yeah.
And so I'd say, fill me with the gifts of the Spirit. And I'd read a chapter or two, and then say, God, fill me with your gifts of the Spirit. And in that time, for 5 hours a day, for 5 months, I was just on my knees, reading the Bible in that chair like that, and praying. And after 5 months, I might get choked up on this. Jesus appeared to me, and I saw him from the waist up. And he had a look on his face like he was not, something was missing, and I was doing something wrong. And that troubled me. And then he turned his back toward me and started to walk away, and I hollered real loud, don't leave me. I felt if he left me, I'd never see him again. He turned sideways, I saw his profile on his left face, and he had a little smile on it. And he turned a few steps, he disappeared. Man, I cried. I didn't want him to leave me, you know. And so then, I had just got through reading the 12th chapter of 1 Corinthians about the 9 gifts of the Spirit. And that's what I've been praying about. And then I read that last verse, desire spiritual gifts. And I started crying and saying to the Lord again, I've been doing this. Where have you been? And then the second part of that verse, yet you are into a more excellent way. It says. And then right away I figured, well, the 13th chapter of Corinthians is the love chapter. So I scrambled and I started reading that. I got several verses. I said, oh, Lord, now I see it. I'm sorry. I was apologizing because I didn't know. And I could see you could have the love of God and we think love in us. If the word of knowledge was given to you about somebody's life, you could get mad at them, punch them out. And then I could see it. You need the love of God with the gifts of the Spirit. And so then, the next 6 weeks, I started praying, God, fill me with your love. I read a little bit, fill me with your love. And 6 weeks later, I went to Angelus Temple. That's a Foursquare. Amos Temple. McPherson was the founder of the Foursquare Gospel. And I went there, and it's a good-sized building, a lot of people. I went in there, and as I went in, I was going to sit down, and I could look way up there in the front. That whole platform was full of young preachers. And I was thinking, if I would have stayed in that school, I might be one of them up there. Just a quick flash in my mind about it, but I looked at them all. When I looked at them, it was like Jesus looking through my eyes and feeling with my feelings. And I just kind of cried over him. I turned and looked behind me, and there's some doors. There are people going out the doors. Where I was sitting was kind of elevated a little bit. And then I looked the second time up there, and the same thing on the young preachers up there. And the second time, some people were leaving, and third time, same thing. And then I just stood there with my eyes closed and worshiping Lord. And I pictured him standing over top of me with a big bucket like this, pouring it, that was full of love, pouring it all over me. And I stood there worshiping Lord for I don't know how long, but I sensed with my eyes closed, the lights going out, so I opened my eyes, and I'm the only one in the place. And then the lights start going out, and I thought, whoa, I better get out of here before I get locked in.